Episode 6, Card Low, Card High. Welcome back. I know we've been a little absent this last few days. Busy schedules, busy lives is what it is, but we are happy to be back because we've got something pretty important to talk about, and it's 2023 Prizm Racing. I know I'm jacked up and excited. I know Noah is up all over the moon for Prizm to come back. Is one of our personal favorites as far as product line goes. We don't have a ton of info, but what we do have has got us both jazzed for this to come out. So, Mr. Noah, what are your what have you been looking at for Prizm here? Because I know we've talked a little bit as far as releases and stuff goes about Chronicles and Prime, but when it comes to Prizm, it's a whole other animal. It's kind of, it's obviously my favorite. I think everybody knows I'm a Prizm ho. So, what's got you most interested for this next Prizm release for 2023?
Well, first of all, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Been a few fun weeks since we got back, but no, kind of like you, I love Prizm. Prizm's one of my favorite. I think it actually is my favorite release every year, just because I think that ratio of value to what you can hit is the best, for my opinion, because I just think the price point makes sense. Hit four autos, got a couple colors, infinitely more fun of a rip compared to Donruss.
Oh
Donruss
God,
values
yes.
fun, but ripping Donruss makes you want to pull your hair out.
Yep.
So Prism's that sweet spot for me every year. There's a few things about this year that I have question marks with for Prism, which we'll get to. I know we will. But every year I am always optimistic about this year's release of Prism. We have a lot of fun looking inserts coming out. I'm very much excited like every other year.
I dig it. Autos, ink, usually the name of the game with Prizm. 4 per box on average. The rare 5 auto box and the not so rare 3 auto box, but 4. They bless us with 4 autos, whereas the stick and ball boys get 2. So definitely a more, like you said, it's a more involved rip of a box, and it gives you a chance to chase some rainbows. Obviously, I wish Panini would give us, maybe 12 to 15 cards in a rainbow instead of the 7 to 10. But maybe one day we'll be blessed with that. But I've always liked Prizm because of obviously the design changes, right? With like Prime Chronicles NT, you can only tweak the cards so much, because NT is going to be NT, Chronicles is going to be Chronicles, Prime is Prime. It just is what it is. But with Prizm, from 2016 on, it has been a different design. It's been different inserts, different parallels, different you name it. And I'm ready for it. I'm really ready for it. Prizm is one of the most popular products that we group break, strictly because, in a case of 12 boxes, we're getting 48 autos, potentially. So your chance to hit's much better. The value in those bigger breaks is obviously usually going to be better. And Prizm is something you can add with anything. You can do it with Donruss, you can do it with Chronicles, Prime, NT. It don't matter. You can throw a box of Prizm in something, and boom, your hit potential goes up. So I'm most excited for the new design. I think it's super clean. They left the checkered board in, which in 2022 was numbered to 50. That's been a very popular one, I think, obviously for the racing crowd, the black and white checkered border. It looks like the rainbow's still back, the stuff numbered to 24. That's always been a popular chase. But we did get, I know you were mentioning, you looked at some of the more rare, like they listed some rares to chase. I haven't looked too much into that. So what have you discovered so far on that side of the product?
Yeah, so we have, according to the Panini website, we have 4 kind of rare, distinctive cards that they would say. The 4 we have listed are Jackpot, Championship Trophy, Groovy, and Profiles. I think, if I correct me if I'm wrong, we have 2 of those. We have the Profiles and the Championship Trophy that are being shown. I like the Championship Trophy a little more than the Profiles, but the Profiles I know is going to be. I'm the one thing that very much surprises me that we can talk about is based on the photos, we have this kind of Dale Jr., which I know from other sports as kind of being a color wheel, which is a really rare insert.
Color wheel. Okay.
But so the one with the Dale Jr. is usually known as a color wheel, or yeah, it's usually known as a color wheel, I believe.
Yeah.
Unless I know it as a color wheel from, I think I've been looking to get a Brees Hall one with him in the Iowa State, and it's a color wheel for that, which is very similar. But here it's called a kaleidoscopic, I think. This is what I
Yeah.
think they're going for with the kaleidoscope, all the colors, which kind of throws me off because this is usually like in other sports one of the rarer inserts. So it's very surprising that they're going to make it kind of a more common. Like you'll probably get one or two of these a box because it kind of presents like the blank slate does, and those are like rare. So it's very interesting. They're going for kind of a base design with this, unless they
Yeah.
change it later.
That'll be interesting. I wonder if Color Blast will come back.
That's a good question. They don't make any mention of it, but I don't know if they made a mention of it. I feel like last year they only mentioned the manga because it was new. I don't know if they mentioned Color Blast,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong on that.
Well, last year for 2022 the hobby box had said look for the ultra rare Color Blast and Red Alert. So those were the case hits. Typically, typically it was a Red Alert. I think I've had 5 cases with Color Blast, and then the cases with Red Alerts also had a manga or a second, or more one of ones. It was kind of odd. It was either like you got 2 one of ones or a one of one and a bunch of golds and a Red Alert, or you got a manga, Red Alert, and maybe a gold vinyl. It's kind of how it broke down. But I'd be sad if Color Blast didn't come back. If they didn't bring it back, I'd understand because obviously we've had it for 3 years straight. So change is good. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe old Color Blast will finally see a nice little boost in value like they should. That wouldn't be bad. But I do like that kaleidoscopic. That looks pretty sweet. And then it looks like from what you shared with me, there's like widescreen National Pride. I don't think there's any pictures of those yet because, again, we have very limited release info on this. But the National Prides are sick. I have some National Pride Golds from 2020 that are some of my favorite cards. So if they're anything like 2019, 2020, I'm in. I'm all for it.
Is that the year with the Mount Rushmore? I think is that 2019. Those are my favorite ones. I think the ones from I think the ones from the last year or two ago are kind of a step down from 2019 to 2020, but I think they're still a relatively good insert. And I just checked on this Dale Jr. to make sure. And then the other sports like Panini Select, they are color wheels. Like that is literally what it's called. So unless they want to make it a new name over here, the kaleidoscopic, they're either making this the rare one or they've just decided to downgrade it. I don't know what they're doing.
Well, we'll find out.
I can check. Yeah, we'll figure it out because maybe a kaleidoscopic. I'm checking soccer because soccer's similar. Okay. So this is actually going to help us out a lot here. So according to this, I think the color wheel it's going to be a color wheel and it's going to be the rare hit because I just looked up a kaleidoscopic for soccer and it looks nothing like this.
Can you pop it in the Discord?
So I will send you. Yeah, I'll pop it in the Discord for you so you can see it.
And I'll pop
But
it up on the screen
as you can tell, and you'll pop it up on the screen. It's a very clearly not the color wheel. So I'm guessing color wheel is getting the manga, the color wheel treatment, which cool. I love because
I'm in.
Which I'm perfectly fine with. I think it's the whole design looks like a color blast or a blank slate. Like that's how all the really rare kind of cards go for Panini. Dope. It feels like with the driver front and center, like in this color wheel. So that makes sense. But yeah, kaleidoscopic, as you can see, is clearly not the color wheel. But still a fun little insert. If these are colored, I think these will look phenomenal.
Kaleidoscopic looks like it'll probably replace Brilliance or the Illumination.
I would imagine Brilliance.
Illumination. No, it's going to be Illumination. That's what it'll replace. That's my bet.
I kind of
that insert.
Well, we're getting Prismatic. Which kind of is similar.
Brilliance.
So,
because I can see that, I see the Prismatic on the pre-release. So, I bet you Prismatic and Kaleidoscopic are going to replace Brilliance and the Illumination. or the Victory Lane Bound. Those inserts from 22,
Oh, you're right.
I
Yeah.
think those are going to be the new, which are sick because in a parallel gold, those are going to be dope. Those are going to be absolutely disgusting to go for. So that, okay, now I'm even more excited. So,
wait, hold up. Prismatic.
the other
This
thing.
prismatic looks like. Sorry,
No,
I'm
go
looking
ahead.
on like down by my side of all this Bubba, all my Bubba cards. There's a set from 2018 Prism that looks so similar to this.
Apex.
Is it Apex from that year?
No,
Yeah,
no,
because I was gonna say one
Apex.
of the years from.
No, I'm sorry. Apex. That'd be 2019 Apex
No,
if I had to say. That's what it would look like to me.
I'm gonna find it. There's a card that looks very similar to this from that year. I just can't remember if it's in a
It might be the Brilliance
one.
actually. 2018 Brilliance. That's what it reminds me of.
No, I'm thinking of 2018 Illumination.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that too. That too. It almost looks like they're doing an ode or like a nod to previous year Prisms here.
Yeah, because like this, like I'm holding the Illumination, and it's like it's clearly different, but like it gives the same vibe. So I don't know.
Well, now that we've really gotten into this, I'm wondering if they're doing kind of a nod to different years of Prism because we also getting profiles back, which was one of my favorite case hits from 2020 Prism. With the planetary, it was black with the planetary, and they got a picture of Larson, which I'll put on the screen, with the car like they had, and then a portrait, like a chest up portrait, and then the planet behind him, and that looks sick. That could be cool. So if the profiles replaces Red Alert and or manga, and then we still get Color Blast and the Color Wheel, one of the other. Oh, we know we're getting the Color Wheel, but if there's still Color Blast, Color Wheel, and then profiles, I am stoked. That is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think those are. It's a great. I think that's this. I'm not going to speak too soon because we don't have kind of photos of the widescreen National Pride and others. They're also bringing back Rides as a subset, which
I like that.
as a subset
Rides
base
is
set,
a good one,
which is fine. I like Rides. Rides. I think the design from this last year, like, kind of the border took up a little bit too much of the photo, in my opinion. I'm usually a fan of the smaller borders, if you will, to kind of make the photo pop. So I thought the border with kind of like the whooshes on the kind of the corners was a little much, but I still very much enjoyed it. And so yeah, I'm really excited. I think these kind of SPs, if we're getting Color Wheel and profiles as like the big SPs, well, we still have Jackpot, and Jackpot could be, God knows what Jackpot could be.
and Groovy.
Like maybe we just get like,
and
Groovy,
Championship
like,
Trophy, which we have a picture of. So Championship Trophy is obviously going to be winners, right? Cup champions. That's going to be pretty self-explanatory. I would say that. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to break. So real quick, I want to go back to the prismatic real quick. I was looking. I was like, man, I feel like I've seen that. Right? It's almost like a mix of the 2018 Illumination
Apex
and the 2022 Prism Icons card. That's the vibe I'm getting off of that. So that's probably going to be an insert set, right? Rides, that was an insert set that had base and parallels and autos. There were Rides autos as well. Instant Impact from last year, that could possibly be replaced by the Kaleidoscopic and or the Illumination. Both of those, I think, will probably go. And if they're bringing back National Pride...
I wasn't a fan of Instant Impact, so...
Yeah, me either. It looked like there was a Hail Hydra squid on the back. Like, it made no sense. Like, they had tentacles coming out of their butt. I never got it. Never understood that card. And then Jackpot Championship Trophy, Groovy profiles. Those will probably be more along the lines, I'm guessing. Other than profiles will probably be case hit, but Groovy, Championship Trophy, and Jackpot, I bet that replaces Stained Glass, Stacks, and the USA flag and the checkered flag. I bet that's what those replace.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So now you're looking at maybe one per box or so, 1 to 2 of those those SPs, and then you'll probably get like 4 to 7, 4 to 8 per case. Somewhere in there is usually what it was for 2022. So if that's how that breaks down, I'm jacked up because everything's new then, except Rides is back. But other than that, we should be in for like all new stuff, which is
Well, one
dope.
thing I just thought about this now. There's no mention of it, but I'm curious if they're bringing back Victory Lane Bound because I liked Victory
Nah,
Lane Bound as the
I
insert.
think
I
I think
liked it. Well,
Championship Trophy replaces that because if you remember the Victory Lane bound here, I have a stack of Prizm from our break the other night, and looking at then we also have Spotlight from 2022. But if you look at the Victory Lane bound, it's going to be winners, right? So I bet you that's the championship trophy. Championship trophy probably replaces that. And then Groovy probably
but
replaces
I think
Spotlight. That's how I think it breaks down.
my 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 problem, the only thing that makes me question that is with Victory Lane Bound, we got like people who don't have championship wins. Like we got Byron, we got Bubba, we got Bowman, who don't have championship trophies. So
Could just be a
unless they
change.
decide to do the thing, like unless they do the thing where they give like I know maybe it's a little different, but like with where they do the 75th cards in Donruss,
Yes.
where it's like when I thought of 75th, I thought they were going to do like all the 75th drivers, where then they just decided to throw like random people on like Decker, Bubba, and then Gibbs like in the set, which didn't make any sense. Right. So maybe it's something like that, which makes me a little bit less. Because like one of my favorite things from 2016 Prizm was the winner circles, how they did for every race they had a card for the winner.
Right.
And I don't need that because I thought it was it's the insert set's way too big. But I thought it'd be cool if they highlighted every winner from maybe it was the last year. I think that could be a fair compromise on that.
Everybody who won a race for a Prizm. Yeah, you take your I mean, obviously, you take the duplicate winners, like so Byron with his 42 wins this year, like you give him a race.
Yeah, he only gets one card.
Right. So if you total, let's just say you have, what do we have, 20 winners a year? 18 people win usually? What is it?
Yeah, 16 like 16 to 18 probably usually.
So
well, it's probably going to go less in the few years, but right now I think it's like 16.
I'd say that'd be a cool thing they could do. I'd be a buyer on that. That'd be a fun set to get, especially if you had them like in gold, like if they had it to 10 parallel. I'd absolutely go after that.
Yeah, add the to 10 parallel, then add a 1 of 1.
Yeah, all day.
I would be. That'd be interesting. Like they very clearly aren't going to do that. I think the days of the checker flag 1 of 1 are long behind Panini.
Yeah,
because they're bringing checkered flag out of 50, so those are long gone.
Correct.
I'm imagining you're going to get the same gold vinyl and black, which I always alter my opinion on which one I like more, the black finite or the gold vinyl, because like the gold vinyl is like the really loud obnoxious one, where like the black finite's kind of like the cool younger brother.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know
like
which
them
one
both,
I like.
But I do lean towards finite. I ain't gonna lie.
Like if I'm gonna if you want a card to pop, like if you're to put a card on display, like damn, like that's a 1 of 1. Like you're gonna go the gold vinyl because everybody knows that.
Right.
But the black finite's pretty cool.
Then if you pull one,
and I would imagine it's gonna be black finite and not. Yeah, and it's not gonna be like the black, just straight black from 2018. Like it's probably gonna be black finite, which makes it cooler.
Right. No, I like that a lot. So this has got me even more excited now. You know, and of course it looks like there's the rookie stripes, but other than Ty Gibbs, who's getting a rookie stripes card? You know what I mean? It's going to be
Gregson.
I guess. I mean, I don't know what their standard is for declaring rookie. You know, because like technically Hocevar's rookie year will be next year. You know, he drove some races, but he wasn't the scheduled driver for the Ford. You know what I mean? He just filled in here and there. So with him going to the 77, so that would be his. That'll probably be his rookie with Spire next year. So that's my guess.
Do they? This is probably a dumb question. Do they do the rookies? Do they do the rookie stripes for the younger series, like the Xfinity and Truck series? Do they do rookie stripes for that?
The only other thing they could do to expand that set realistically is going to be your 5 rated rookies. Your Jack Wood, Parker Chase,
no thank you,
Wallace Allen, and Jesse Iwuji and Koga. Yeah. So the only person I have any interest in would be Jesse Iwuji. So, rookie. This has been I've said this a million times. They dropped the ball on the rookie stuff this year. They just did. Raj, so you got Caruth, Munez, Balkin, tons of people that could have been put in the sets, but this just weren't for whatever reasons, whether it's contract or who knows what. But next year,
Sawalich.
Yeah, Sawalich. Well, I think he's had cards before, not with Panini. Well, maybe, I don't know. I feel like I've seen Sawalich. No, maybe, I don't know. Now I'm getting confused, but I would say next year, if they get it right, we're in for a really sick rookie chase for 2024 stuff. Or I guess it'd be 23 Chronicles and on, so like 23 Chronicles. Well, no, because you have to start with Donruss typically. But I don't know. The whole release schedule is changing, so we'll just have to wait and find out. Realistically, we just have to wait and find out. But when and if those rookies become part of a set, it's going to be awesome. And I'm going to be ready
100%.
because there's a lot of those guys that I want in the collection. So overall, from what we can see, okay, let's go off of strictly what we can see pictures of on the site, the little blurb of info, and then what we've kind of pieced together. What would you... I have my number, but if you had to rank this potential release, knowing what we know and what we're assuming, out of 10, where would you put 2023 Prizm Racing?
Because the rookie class is so bad, I can't be a 10.
No, it's not a 10
and I
for me
think
either.
It's not a 10. I don't think it's a 9 either. I probably have this as a like a 7 to an 8. I could see.
Okay.
Like my only thing that's making me like is I like some of the designs, but I like if you go to the end with the scripts, like there's just something that looks off with like I think it's just where it says scripts up top. Like something just looks off there to me. And of course, stuff like this could be changed.
I like the simple.
I don't know. There's something that like maybe it's like how it's centered on the top. I don't know what it is, but something's throwing me off with the scripts written up there. Maybe it's like there's no like drop shadow behind it. It's throwing me off. But I would say this is probably a 7 out of 10. Last year's product for me is probably an 8 to a 9 out of 10.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't think
I have this at an 8.7.
And I'm rating.
Now, so
I'm rating this on a context of kind of all product because like my number one product of all time is 16 Prizm, which gives I guess a perfect 10, but like it's everybody's first Prizm, so like of course it's gonna be a 10. So like,
yeah,
I think 18.
It's got potential to be better, I think, on both of our scales, but until we really see the checklist, it's going to be tough to rank it higher. But just preliminary,
exactly. That's why
at a mid-8 for me, I'm excited. This looks really diving into what we just did with the insert sets and stuff that we can read in their description, trying to figure out what it might replace. They're replacing stuff that needs to go, and bringing some stuff back that I miss, and I think it's gonna be really good. And Prizm, your short print Prizm stuff always sells well. Whether it's 1/1s, the white whales, golds, typically does really really well. And maybe we get on card autos again. Who knows? It could happen.
I can say that they're probably not because if you look at the photos of the autos.
Well, yeah,
almost like they show it like with like a sticker though. If you like actually like look close.
Yeah, I mean every pre-release they all look the same. It's always just a stock image, right? Oh. So like you can see there's a trademark there under Jimmy's signature. They have the little trademark sticker. So it's one of those like because like on 2021 Prizm they said it was going to be on card and then they released these photos. It's showing sticker. I'm like no, they said it's going to be on card. It's going to be on card, and it was on card. So we'll see. I don't know. There's again that's to be determined. Obviously, who knows when we're going to get Prizm. My guess is it's going to be 60 days or so, 45 to 60 days after Prime actually hits the floor. But then again, Prizm has always been typically an October to December release for us. So like 2022 Prizm, I got my first case the 2 days after Christmas. So it's hard to tell.
You got it before Christmas.
Oh
I feel like
no,
I did
no,
a
I
break
did.
with you
Yeah, I
right
did.
before
I did
Christmas,
get it
or
on.
the
No, you're
week
right. It was
before.
2 days before. It was the 22nd. I remember. You're right. You are right. It was right before Christmas. And then Blasters dropped that next. That's right. That's what it was. So who knows? We'll get a release date, and then it'll change 3 or 4, 12 times, and then when we get it, we get it. But I'm excited. This is and again, full disclosure, I am a Prism. Whatever you want to call me, I love it. It's my favorite. It's the most fun to open. It's my favorite to group break. It's my favorite to do personals on. Hell, I open up more Prism throughout the year than anything else when I'm just bored. That's just what I go for because 4 autos, 20 plus Prisms. You're going to get 4 parallels, plus the SPs and inserts or case hit. I mean, there's just so much that could come out of a box, and it's only a 12 box case. So it's, the odds are in your favor, in my opinion. So I'm excited. I know you love Prism, so
I mentioned something real quick.
yeah, I'm all ears.
So I think something also to mention that we didn't this last year, 22 Prism, we kind of had the Blaster exclusive hits, like the
Yes.
Blaster exclusive inserts. So who knows? Maybe one of the ones they have listed. I don't know if they would list it for the hobby per se, but there's probably going to be an insert or two that yeah, that we don't know about that are going to be the Blaster kind of exclusive, which they
Yeah.
were really cheap buying them this year, which like they were like a little like, I mean, they were definitely not the hardest to hit per se, but they seemed like a little
It
low.
was 4 to 5
Considering
per
you'd maybe get,
case for the Future So Brights. Is that what you're talking
yeah,
about?
yeah. That's, I
Yep.
couldn't think of what the name was for the
Yep.
Future So Brights. Yeah,
Which the first time I pulled was like, holy crap, that's sick. And it was an unreleased,
yeah.
unannounced thing. It was only on the Target boxes. It was not listed on the Walmart boxes. So you got the blue prisms in the Walmart, and then you have the orange and purple hypers in the Target boxes. And on the Target boxes, it said, look for the ultra rare insert Future So Bright. And then on the Walmart boxes, it said, look for the classic silver prism parallels. But they both had them. I opened up way more Walmart than I did Target, and we pulled 4 to 5 per case every single time. And we usually, if a case had 4 or 5 Future So Brights, we probably got 4 to 5 autos. If it had 2 to 3 Future So Brights and 2 to 3 autos, I either got a case hit like a Red Alert Manga or a Color Blast, and a 1 of 1 or 2 1 of 1s. I had one case with 3 1 of 1s, 5 Future So Brights, and 6 autos. So it's, blasters in 2022 were amazing. By far the best Prism
Yeah.
blasters we've had since 2016. And I think those go hand in hand because 2016's was 1 auto or men per box, and you can't beat that.
Well,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
great.
You can't beat that. No.
No, the guaranteed blaster days of Prism, and that's. I think at the end of the day, as good as 2022 retail was, I'm hoping it just carries over. Even at 80% quality, I'm good because 2022 is outstanding for retail. And if 23 is close to it or as good, I am even more excited for this release. So, I mean, we did a 3 case break and hit 2 1 of 1s, and I think we had 11 autos with that. A couple of them being numbered to 10, 20, 15. I mean, there's some short printed stuff in there. So, there's definitely good potential for this set, especially with the new inserts. It's going to be good. I am ready to go. I'm ready for Prism tomorrow. Like if they said Prism comes out next week, calling Wells Fargo, empty the bank. I'm buying as much as I can get my hands on.
I also think this product is one of the few where it's like with NT and like Chronicles, I'm like pretty like I don't necessarily buy those boxes. Prism's the one where I'm like, all right, I'll buy a couple boxes throughout the year of
Right,
Prism.
right.
I think I bought 2022 Prism was probably my most bought probably product in the last year. Like I probably opened I mean you break, but I probably opened like probably 6 boxes for myself, which is like pretty surprising for me to open 6 Prism boxes in a cycle. I feel like it's usually like maybe 2.
Yeah, and and again, Prism is on the more expensive side. At release, you're typically about 150 a box, give or take, depending. 22 came up pretty quick to the 170 mark, 160 mark, and then now it's about 205 a box. So it's Prism's just good. I mean, like I said, it's probably one of my most requested items for Rip and Ship nights is Prism or Torque. Like that's just because you get the hits, you know what you're getting. And your potential. I mean, hell, Patrick Tongle did like 6 boxes of Prism over the last 3 or 4 months. I think he hit 3 gold vinyls, one of which was a Dale Jr. auto. and a manga, and he just kept hitting left and right. So
Yeah.
just a great release for us. I think it carries the NASCAR line, or it has carried it, honestly, because National Treasures can't be the only thing desirable. But between Prizm being kind of the base layer that holds everything else up, you can dabble in Donruss Chronicles. Now that we got Prime back, it gives you a little bit more variety to go after. So I'm excited. I think it'll be a great release. Obviously, as we get more info, we'll probably do more information on this in some future episodes as we get closer to it, and we will open some boxes live on YouTube on this channel for you to get a first look at it and our initial reaction and see the cards coming out of the packs from day one. So I don't really have anything else for 23 Prizm. Anything else you want to tack on for this one?
Nothing for 23 Prizm. I'm super excited for it.
I'm Jack. So if you're excited, leave us a comment. We'd love to talk to you down there in the old comment section. If you enjoyed this video and you haven't already for some reason, please feel free to subscribe. It is 100% free. It supports the channel, supports Noah and myself as we continue to grow and bring you this fun little side project of ours. And from those of you that have been leaving comments and liking the videos, we appreciate the heck out of you. It really makes our day when we see those. So keep them coming. And that's it. That'll do it for episode 6. This was Carlo, Card High, with Noah and Jordan. You have a good night, sir. And we will see you guys in the comments here shortly.
Thanks, guys. Take care.